Okay, hopefully this works out better. Rui, while I have you here, how's the music volume versus the volume of my voice? Are they... Can you hear me okay? Is the music too loud? Is my voice too loud? Or do they both sound pretty good to you? Cool. Alright, well, I'll keep scrolling through while I wait for your feedback, but... Alright, here we go. So this is Gravity Well. Oh, alright, let's see if I can... Okay, can you hear the music now? So, this is Gravity Well. This is a defensive card. Look at the bottom 4 cards in your deck. You may draw a card from them, or instead draw a card from the top of the deck, put the remaining cards back in the same order. Starstorm. Turn to healing and turn to damage target. We've already seen this one before. Oh no. Alright, can you hear me now? Alright, there we go. Okay, alright. Well, let me know how it goes, because this feedback is extremely useful for me. Okay, so this is a buff. What's really interesting about these cards is, you can play them, when in the first turn that you play them, they go upright. And then slowly as you play them, each turn it comes back to you, you rotate them by 1 turn. And when it finally hits the last, or when it would rotate to the original corner it was on, or a corner that doesn't have anything, which this one has something on all 4 corners, that's when it would be played off. It's a really interesting mechanic, I like it a lot. Okay, next one is the Soul of War. This one is, it lets you draw cards when you take 1 or more damage. By itself, it's not super good, I think, but there's plenty of cards that can accidentally damage you, and I'm imagining it would activate if that happened. And then additionally, it prevents your opponent from wanting to attack you, at least slightly. Alright, a Creeble Infiltrator. Deal 2 damage. To your target at the start of your turn if they have more than 5 cards in their hand. That's useful, I can see for sure, but 2 damage isn't that much, and yeah, I don't know if it'd be worth playing one of those. Okay, so here's a Lunar Shrieker. It's a defensive card for the Astral group. Burn, gain 1 additional action if your last discarded action card is not Astral moved to your hand. So basically what this card would do is let you put a discarded card back in your hand as long as it wasn't Astral, which I think could be good, but I've never played Astral much, so this would be a very specific, or useful only to a very specific hero. Here's a hero card, so these are one of the many heroes. What's interesting about this game, oh yeah, I'll tell you about that in a second. What's interesting about the hero cards are, so in like Hearthstone, for instance, there's only the 9 core heroes, but in this game, they're called Order. It's kind of class in Hearthstone, but each order of cards has multiple heroes. I think there's something like 20 or 30 heroes for each class, and then since there are 6 different orders, you know, I think there could be over 100 different heroes to play, and each one of them has a special ability. Like this one says ability draw a card. Okay, so these notches on the side are actually the way that uniquely identifies your card so that you can scan it into the game. Actually, ironically, this game isn't streamed very much when people do stream, or when people do the box openings because of this, because basically anyone watching the stream right now with a camera could technically be scanning my cards. The thing is, I'm scanning them as I open the cards, so yeah, I'm just preventing people from being able to do that. Anyway, so this is Bubbles. This is another foil hero. I thought you might like this guy. Yeah, the heroes can vary based on whatever deck you're playing at the moment. So, yeah, I mean there are 20 or 30 heroes for all 6 orders. So yeah, I mean each hero, you would add a hero into your deck, and you know, I'm glad you like Bubbles. Yeah, you can add each hero into your deck, and they're pretty useful as far as kind of building a cohesive strategy for your deck. Sorry, that was water. So this is the Rubble Roach. So it's a buff. It does 3 damage when you first play it, and then once it's rotated 4 times, the 4th corner down here is the healing. So yeah, I think it's not super good. There are better cards, but by itself it's okay. Umbran Thief. This guy is very, very common. I think he's been around since the first deck. I don't remember exactly, but 4 damage. If the recipient has more health than you after the damage is dealt, you heal for 3. Kind of a decent combo card, or rather a combination of attributes. Celestian Warrior. Damage your target, so the 2nd and 4th corners will deal a total of 7 damage. Probably not that good compared to most of the cards that have been out already. So, Necrophant is a dread card that lets you move 2 discarded defend action cards into your hand, discard 1 card. If you're building a card or a deck with several good defensive cards, that could be pretty good. So another pretty common card I've seen around, the Monster Defender. This is a very, solid card. This lets the opponent, or basically it mitigates some of the damage the opponent can have. Yeah, the dread cards, the purple ones, are kind of like sort of, I don't know why you'd, maybe sort of like the Warlock in Hearthstone, as far as the art goes. So this is the Umbran Informant. Draw cards until you have as many cards in your hand as your enemy. This is an extremely good card. I've seen this card played a lot. Fungal Leecher. This is a card that lets you deal damage to your opponent while healing yourself. It only does 4 damage and 4 healing, but it's still okay. So here's a combo buff. Combo buffs are any card with the word combo in the front. You can have up to 5 of them, up to 5 unique combos in your deck. This Treetop Tribunal, this is a nature card. This buff cannot be removed by other heroes. The first 3 corners rotate this buff 1 step backward when your target defends. Corner 4, damage your target. So this is pretty, I mean, the cost is a little expensive. It costs basically up to 3 cards. And I can explain how combos work in a little more detail in a minute. But yeah, I mean, it seems kind of expensive for what it is. Hibernating Agama? At the end of your turn, deal the rotated damage to your target. If there is a buff to the right of this card, remove that buff if possible and restart this. Okay, so this is interesting. This should theoretically a buff that you could continually recharge, although there's a lot of abilities that let you remove a lot of buffs. So yeah, buff removal is pretty much a staple in the game. And here's the last card. This is a foil. The Ashwood Diva. Another foil card. I'll try to get the artwork up there for you. Alright. Next booster. Similar to my last stream, I think if I hit any common cards, or any cards that I've seen already, I'm gonna try to just skip over them quickly. but that doesn't usually happen until the second half of the box. So here's the Creeble Nurse, 3 healing, increase this by 4 if you received 8 or more damage from a single hit since your last turn ended. Yeah, I don't know how good that would be. It's unaligned though, meaning that you can put it in any deck. Draga Scorcher, I really like this card. It's you basically get 6 damage in your second turn to your opponent, so that's pretty good. The Celestian Warrior, yeah, we've already seen this guy. Demolition Bot, remove an action buff you control to deal 5 damage. Reduce your damage received by 2 during this action. That could be pretty good if you had a buff that wasn't gonna do much, or some, you know, you just really needed that extra 5 damage. Dusk Feeder, 3 healing, increase this by 4 if your last discarded card is solar. I think we've seen one of those already. The Abyss Tentacle, deal 2 damage to your target when you perform an ability. When this enters play, gain 1 additional action if you have another shadow buff in play. So this is a pretty decent card. So it's a buff, but it doesn't have anything on the corners, meaning that basically it just stays out until it gets removed, either by you or by your opponent. So if you have a hero that has an ability that you're going to be using frequently, I can see how this would absolutely make it into your deck. Especially because it doesn't have the word unique on it, which I read up on unique since last time. Unique means that you can't have more than 1 copy of it in your deck. Yeah, so that's a pretty decent card. Okay, so Turbine Waste. When you play a combo, heal equal to its cost. Again, this is another buff that doesn't have anything in the corner, so it would just stay out. If you had a Storm deck, that would... Storm is the name for the blue decks in this game. If you had a Storm deck, I can see how this might be useful if you're planning to play a bunch of combos, but typically you don't play combos except in kind of key situations. So I don't know how useful that would be. So, Cursed Grave. When any of your cards are discarded by a card effect, store them under this card. When a 3rd card is stored, deal 7 damage to your target. Move the stored cards to your deck and expire this buff. That actually seems pretty good if you were playing a deck that you were worried about your opponent controlling your cards, maybe? I don't know. So this is another hero. This is Grimus the Blightbringer. No more than 1 of your poison buffs can be removed or returned in 1 turn, so that's good. It's sort of buff removal mitigation. And here's a card that I like a lot. Boulder Feast, 3 healing. So this is a mountain card that, yeah, just does an outright 6 healing. Does an outright 6 healing to you. Yeah. Purple. So yes. Let me explain really quick. I don't think I can easily show you, but basically, yeah, there are... Let me see if I can drop this in the chat to give you a better idea about what's going on. Hold on. Okay, hold on a second. I had to move my keyboard. Apparently I can't right-click in my streaming software. Yeah, so there you go. Those are the cards, and basically you can kind of see, so there's types and categories of the card, which are hero buff, whatever. They're the rarities, and specifically there are orders and elements. So each order has 3 elements composed in there, and each hero can basically, like this card for instance, this was the Grimus Blightbringer card I showed you before. These are the 3 elements for the Dread Order, and this one says that it can play as many poison cards as it wants in 1 turn. However, it can only play 1 death or 1 shadow card per turn. So, yeah, you would be building your decks kind of around a poison theme with maybe a little bit of death or poison there, or sorry, death or shadow in there. But yeah, that's what this does. So. This is a nature card, Ashwood Diva. I think we already saw this, but up here on the top, the nature cards have three different elements, and this one's a soul card. So basically, that would mean that a hero with unlimited soul could play as many of these as they had mana. You only have 2 actions per turn, which can be boosted by cards and card effects. But basically, your deck wants to be mainly focused around the hero element that you get unlimited amounts of. And there are items and stuff that you can also use to give you more. So this is a tech card, Chrono Warper, 3 healing, rotate an action buff on one other hero to its final corner. So this could be really good to basically fast forward a card all the way to its kind of final corner. So if you only get 1 benefit from the first and the last corners, that could potentially let you get the first and last in just 1 turn. Here's a storm card, Electro Hopper. Deal 2 damage to your target at the start of your turn, if this is your only buff in play. So if you're playing a deck that didn't have a lot of buffs, Rui says, these games always seem so complicated, I don't know how you keep all this in your head. It's actually not too bad. I mean, it's like, I don't know, like Settlers of Catan, if you've ever played that. There's a fair amount of instruction at first, but as soon as you start playing, it all starts kind of flowing pretty easily. Yeah, it almost looks like it has lipstick, but no, it's just its silly red tongue, I suppose. Anyway, yeah, if you're playing a Storm deck that you didn't have many buffs or only was loaded up with Electro Hoppers, that could be pretty good. Pathfinder, remove 1 buff. Increase this by 1 if your last discarded card is Lunar. Oh, we've already seen that one. We've already seen the Rubber Roach. Devour Soul. Combo Defend for the Dread folks. Remove 1 buff from another hero and 8 healing. That's really good. Being able to just 8 healing is pretty good, but then the ability to remove another buff from a hero makes it great. Another Creeble Infiltrator. The Rockhide Revenge. First 3 corners, reduce damage received by that amount, and then corner 4 is damage your target. That is very, very good. It almost seems kind of broken. Hibernating Agama, I already saw that guy. And another Treetop Tribunal, except this one's all foily, so it's all shiny. Oh, Rui, you make this so much fun. Alright, Putrid Infestation. So this is a card that'll let you damage your target. Does 3 initially and then 1 little one after that. Oh yeah, I'll make sure to show you the foil cards for sure. Bone Reaper. Damage your target and heal you on your 3rd turn. Don't think it's that good offhand, but it could be if you were planning something several turns in advance. Another Celestian Warrior. So, hold on 1 second. There we go. Flamebat, this is a pretty standard card. It's just an outright 5 damage for the mountain folks. Thunder Slug. And I've already seen one of those. Stalwart Rockle. Immune to damage. This does not count as damage reduction. Interesting. I need to go see what the immune keyword means, but neat. The Colossi Skybeam. It's a Skybeam. Looks like every Marvel movie ever made. Deal 2 damage to your target at the start of your turn if they have 20 or more health. That seems really, really good. Sunstrider, this is a rare card, 3 damage, increases by 1 for every other card you've played this turn. Could be good if you had some kind of broken combo. I'm not quite sure how this would be that useful, but I don't know, we'll see. Okay, Reality Rift. Move your last 3 discarded buffs into play, gain 1 additional action. And here we go, a Snowcaster Elder. 3 healing, gain 1 additional action. So here's your foily card. Alright, here we go. Fountain of Time. Rotate up to 1 action buff any heroes up to 2 steps forwards or backwards, only 1 direction per buff. Do her? I didn't see. Rui says her eyes shimmered. Oh, you're right. They do. Cool. Another Moss Ridge Defender. Another Dusk Feeder. Gravity Well. Look at the bottom 4 cards of your deck. So can you see any better? Sorry, trying to keep my eye on the... oh, I know. This will make things a lot easier if I just move this to the top of my screen instead of having it all smushed down below. Here we go. That's a heck of a lot easier for me to see now. Alright, Gravity Well. Look at the bottom 4 cards of your deck. You may draw a card from them. Oh yeah, sorry, we've already seen this guy. Crystal Leech. This is probably one of the major staples for Mountain. Yeah, I don't think you can build a Mountain deck without these, or would not be advisable. Dawnstalker. Damage your turn to damage your target. Increase this by 4 if your last card is Lunar. So that could be good if you were trying to combo that. Getting 10 damage on a single turn could be good. Emergency Generator. A defend card. If your enemy has more health than you, they must move 3 attack cards from their hand to their deck. Multiplayer. This applies to all other heroes, but for 2 attack cards. So another really interesting aspect to this game is you can play against multiple people. I've never played against more than just one, but you can play cards, I think up to 4 people can play, where basically you attack the person on your left and you defend from the person on your right, and you kind of carry until I think it's only one last person. I think there's different formats to play too, like you can have 2v2, not positive though. Here's a Carabid Scavenger, a rare buff for the Dread folks. Instead of discarding, store defend cards under this card. Defend ability, turn for healing, move one of the stored cards to your hand. That could be good if you're trying to save defends. Alright, Volcanic Eruption. This is, yeah, an extremely expensive card, but corner 1, turn to damage your target. Corners 2 and 3, you can't, or your target and enemy can't buff. So I'm imagining that in a 1v1 game that would be pretty normal. Okay, so here's the foil card. It's a Celestian Warrior. Foily. Alright. Now I know why people really enjoy streaming. I didn't get it, but not having a lot of active viewers is... anyway, Gear Crank Catapult. Corners 1 and 2, this buff only rotates if you have 3 or more mechanical buffs in play. Corner 3, damage your target. Yeah, I don't like this card. It's too tricky to get it to work well. I've tried playing it a couple times, and yeah, it's just, you can't get mechanical buffs out unless your deck is just loaded with them. Disturbed Elemental, 3 damage, increases by 3 if you've removed a buff this turn. It could be good. You could be adding insult to injury if you removed your opponent's buff and then attack him with that. Mantic Spitter, this is a real standard Dread card. It's just an easy 5 damage. Loot Snatcher, I think we've already had one of these. Yeah, we did, and I thought it was meh. Pathfinder, remove 1 buff, increase this by 1 if your last discarded card is Lunar. Oh yeah, we've already seen that. Rock Melter, combo attack. 5 damage, just ignores damage reducing effects. It's pretty, If your opponent has a lot of defensive stuff going on, that might be useful, but yeah, the extra ability to remove a buff seems kind of nice. Gravity Meddler. When you play a defend card, rotate an action buff on any hero 1 step backwards. That could be really, really good. That seems kind of... I don't know, cards that let you rotate backwards, even by one, are pretty decent. Nimbus Crash. It's a storm card. Damage your opponent and heal. So that's 7 healing for you and 7 attack. That seems pretty good. A Lunar Shrieker. I think we've had one of these. Yeah. And here we go, the Mantix Volter. This is the foily card. It's the storm one. Yeah, I know what you mean. Alright, here we go, Crazed Bomber. It's an attack. So this is the reason why I think tech's just not that strong of a class. They don't have a lot of buff removal, and this is one of them, and it basically forces you to kill your own buffs to damage, or to, take away your opponents. So many other orders have cards that don't do that to you. Like, a perfect example. Here is a Shadow Puppet. This is the example I was just looking for. So this is a Dread card that does it just removes your opponent's buffs, or theoretically even your own. It's a very versatile card, and it doesn't require you to burn your own buffs. So here is a Corvid Conspiracy. It's a nature deck. It's yeah, it just lets you deal damage to your opponents on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th turns. Snowcaster Elder, 2 healing, gain an additional action. That's not bad. I mean, it's taking up one of your 30 card slots, but lets you basically get a free action in there. So rotate to damage your target. I've already seen I think actually, yeah, we've already seen the Putrid Infestation. Chrono Shock Engine. Restart this if you play an explosives card. Draw cards if you deal damage to yourself. That's an interesting strategy. There are a lot of cards that do a lot of damage to your opponent and a little bit to you, and that could combo with those really well. Gravity Meddler. When you play a defend card, rotate an action buff on any hero 1 step backwards. Oh, sorry, I think we've already seen that. The Contra Bubble. There we go. Combo buff, damage you deal to yourself instead heals you. Oh! This might combo really well with that Chrono Shock Engine. Anyway, yeah, damage you deal to yourself heals you instead. Rotate this 1 step forward when you defend. Stasis Drone. Your target's rightmost buff, from their perspective, is dormant. Rotate this a step forward when you target your buffs. Huh, interesting. And then here's the Paralysis Bug. This is the foil. This is a draw 1 card, select a hero when this card comes into play. That hero can't draw cards or defend. That seems mean. I mean, it only lasts 1 turn, but cool. Okay, yeah, good question. So Rui asked, how many copies of a particular card can you have in a deck? So without getting into legal rulings, I'll just talk about it in general. You can have 1 hero, or you have 5 combos. Each combo has to be unique, so 5 combos. And then the other 25 cards in your deck can be made up of attacks, buffs, defends, items. I think those are the 4 categories. But basically, you can have up to 3 cards of any of those. So typically, you'll run 3 really good cards that are really important to your deck, like Flame Bat right here. This is for people who are just starting out. This is a common card, and I think it comes in the Mountain Starter. I think there might even be 3 in there. So this is a really just basic but solid card. Oh, cool! Someone else is chatting. Legion Burn. Do I play the online game? Oh yeah. play the online games, but I really like. I might be one of the few people that really enjoys just going into a card shop and just hanging out with people. So, I mean, I like the online game because it's super relaxing and they're quick, so you can play them on a mobile device really easily. But yeah, so online games are nice too. Rui, here's another one of those vitalizing frogs. And here's another one of those thunder slugs. The Hurricane Hermit. Common card. Buff with a defend ability. Move another buff you have in play to the discard pile. Draw that number of cards. If you really want to just start burning your buffs down early, this might be useful, but I don't know. Maybe I haven't played enough, but I don't really enjoy discarding my buffs prematurely. Creeple Nurse, 3 healing, oh yeah, we've already seen this. Rui asked, so can you do anything with your duplicates, like Hearthstone players can break the cards down into dust? I'm assuming you can't do that since they are physical cards. Correct, so you can do 2 things. This game has the physical cards that you can buy, but looking back. So this card has physical cards you can buy, and you can't burn physical cards when you get them added into your game. But you can dust your digital cards that are extras, and it does let you dust your extra digital cards if you have up to 3 physical ones. And I guess you can prematurely dust even more cards than that if you really didn't need it and you wanted to dust. Oh, sorry, Mantix Bolter. So I was watching a stream earlier today with someone who just absolutely loves this card. Like, this is probably his favorite card. So it's a defend ability, draw 1 card, your target takes damage. You may use another ability this turn, it must be from a different card. Yeah, I mean, I can totally see why too. It's just, I mean, I think this is probably one of the staple Mythical expansion cards for Storm. I mean, it's just really good. So one thing I forgot to mention earlier when I was telling you, there's 2 symbols on buff. I forget, they have a quirky name for this. I think it's like irregular or something. But basically this means that it doesn't rotate until you actually do the action on here. Where like this round one means that it automatically rotates on your next turn. So this is even better because of that. Here's another Abyss Tentacle. Here's a Bubble Spirit. Your enemy's rightmost buff from their perspective can't rotate. Yeah, Legion Fern knows what's up. So as a Bubble Spirit, your enemy's rightmost buff from their perspective can't rotate, even from card effects. Interesting. Defend ability. Swap the position of 2 of another hero's buffs. 3 healing. So this could be cool. This would let you control your opponent's cards a lot better. Let you sort of disable one of their buffs. So that's pretty cool. Here's a hero, the Claus Clackerson. Rue, you probably like this dude. At least the art. So deal 1 damage to your target if you perform an attack and a defend action in the same turn. This cannot be increased by effects and can only trigger once per turn. Yeah, you've got a lot of attacks and defends that could be potentially useful, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So Legion Fern's where I am. Legion Fern said that he's more partial to the mountain deck. I'm kind of right there with you. Yeah. Anyway, Rue, here you go. Here's the Sweeping Rockwing foil, but this is a rare card. Corner 1, rotate this 1 step forward when you take damage from a combo. Corner 2, reduce combo costs by that much. This is phenomenal. Combo cards are usually expensive, and if you can reduce combo costs by 2, this could let you... It's a combo pretty well. Might try it out in one of my mountain decks. Alright. Next. Shrine of Death. This is a dread card. Select a buff you control, heal yourself equal to its current value. That could be good. Necrophant. Burn, move 2 discarded. Oh yeah, we've already seen one of those. Definitely seen Pathfinder. Shadow Puppet, definitely seen. Mantic Spitter, definitely seen. Paralysis Bug. Draw 1. Oh yeah, we saw the foil version of this earlier. The Abyss Hoarder. Draw cards when you use an ability. That's good if you're going to be playing an ability-heavy deck, or your hero has a pretty sweet ability that you're going to be using. Venom Feeder. Burn 3 healing. Move 1 discarded poison action card to your hand. That's pretty good, especially if you got a poison action card that you really like. Quantum Loop is a tech combo card. 9 damage. Every defend card used to pay for this also deals an additional hit of 2 damage each, which cannot be increased by effects. That could be pretty good. So that's potentially up to what, 17 damage? That's phenomenal. And here we go, Greedy Gemruff. Discard 1 card. Your enemy discards 1 card from their deck. Your enemy discards... I'm reading tonight. 1 card from their hand and 1 from the top of their deck. And here you go, Rui. Here's the foily silliness. Yeah, so Legion Fern, do you play the physical game or digital only? Yeah, these are all boosters. This is the whole box, and I'm probably about a third of the way through it. I'm not sure why they don't have foil cards in the digital version yet. That seems weird to me. Or whatever the equivalent would be. Alright, so here's a Disturbed Elemental. 3 damage, increases by 3 if you've removed a buff this turn. I think we've already seen that. Definitely seen Sneaky Creeble. 4 damage, ignore damage reducing effects. Ashwood Diva, draw 3 cards. Your target draws 2 cards. Fountain of Time, definitely seen one of those. Devour Soul, it's a combo defend. Remove 1 buff from another hero, and then get a healing. That's pretty good. Yeah, so Legion Fern, so there's I'll chat with you in a second. Storm Calling, move all combo cards from your discard pile to your deck, draw 2 cards. It's good if you're playing a bunch of combo cards. Tyrex Historian, draw 3 cards, move 2 cards from your hand to your deck. That could be good if you had a bunch, if you didn't have the cards you wanted and you were trying to do some sort of combo deck. Delivery Crab, 3 healing, draw a card. That seems pretty solid. Inertia Sentinel, unique. Reduce the first damage you receive per turn by 2 if you have 15 or less health. This only affects damage dealt by other heroes. And here's the foil. Devour Soul, remove 1 buff from another hero with a healing. You go, Rui. Not super foily. Yeah, so Legion Fern, the game has both physical and digital cards. Obviously, digitals can't be played physically, but you can import your physical cards into the digital game, which is actually what I'm doing while I'm streaming this. So yeah, if you see me holding the cards to the right side, that's because I'm trying to stand them while chatting about them. Alright, so here's another Ashwood Diva. We've definitely already seen one of those. Here's a Droplet. Gain 1 additional action if you've played another water card this turn, heal for 4. Yeah. This could be, again, really good for the Storm decks. Greedy Gemruff. Discard 1 card. Your enemy discards 1 card from their hand and 1 from the top of their deck. You're trying to mill someone, but 1 card doesn't quite seem enough. Celestian Warrior. Actually, is there milling in this game? I feel like there isn't. But if you're trying to just, yeah, get your opponent to remove cards, maybe that would be it? I'm not sure. Celestian Warrior, seen one of these guys. Spark Wisp, seen one of these guys. Tech combo buff, Empowered Implant. Corner 1, take damage. Corner 2, attack ability. Do that much damage. That is really good. Yeah, Legion Fern, I know what you mean. This game has a fair amount of subtle combos that, unless you've played a bit, I think it's kind of hard to recognize them. But yeah, just keep playing, figure out what those combos are, and then try to figure out how to beat them. I think is yeah, I know what you mean. There are some combos that are a little overpowered. I think in ranked play. Oh, sorry, real quick. Fungal Leecher, deal damage to your target and heal yourself. I think we've seen one of those. Creeble Decoy, when you get attacked, the attacker must move attack cards from their hand to their deck. And here's another Necrophant foil. Yeah, so there's in ranked play, I'm not sure if they enforce the rules for the legality rules, but there are some cards that are just kind of really broken in this game, and they're I forget who the maker of Lightseekers is, but they've been pretty good about spotting those and either banning them or at least limiting the amount of cards that can go in a deck. Alright, Shadow Puppet, seen one of these guys. Thunder Slug, seen one of these guys. Vitalizing Frog, there you go, Rudy, there's your fun little frog. Crazed Bomber, seen one of those. Devour Soul, seen one of those. Storm Calling. It's a Storm combo. Move all combo cards from your discard pile to your deck. Draw 2 cards. That could be really good, again, if you're playing combo, like a Storm combo deck. Resourceful Sipid. Whenever a buff next to this one expires, heal for 2 and draw 1 card. That's interesting. Dawn Stalker. Deal damage to your target by the amount turned. Increases by 4 if your last discard card is Lunar. You've seen one of those before, though. Molten Swimmer, mountain card. Heal yourself and deal damage to your target equal to the number of fire buffs you have in play. Maybe if you've got just a crazy amount of fire buffs. And here's a rare foil card, Impressed Cloud. 2 healing. If your last discarded card is a combo, move 2 different valid action buffs from your hand into play. Oh yeah, that could be really good. Again, if you're running a Storm combo deck. Really? Look! Woo! Alright, yet another Mantic Spitter. Yet another Crystal Leech. Yeah, Legion Fern, if you're running a mountain deck, I'm pretty sure you know this by now, but it's critical you have 3 of these in your deck. Like, this is... really? Anyway, yeah, so this is a, yeah, this is just a linchpin of the mountain decks. Disturbed Elemental, 3 damage, increases by 3 if you've removed a buff this turn. I'm surprised I don't think I've seen this one yet, or I'm starting to get tired. Both are just as likely. Wild Spirit, defend, rotate all your animal buffs 1 step forward, gain an additional action. If you've got a lot of animal buffs that are dealing damage and you run this, you're going to kind of mess your opponent up. When it comes to items, do they allow multiple at once? I think, if I remember right, items have to be unique, and I think you can only include... I don't have the rules in front of me, it's been a bit, but I believe if you're trying to do deck building, it'll enforce it for you in the game, but I believe you can only have 1 item actively in play. I'm not totally sure on that, though. I believe, I'm also, now I'm thinking, I'm under the impression you can only have 1 item in your deck per item. Yeah, I don't think you can have 3 of the same item in your deck. I need to look that up, though. Invigorate, combo defend. Nature card, 5 healing, move valid action buffs from your hand into play until you have as many buffs in play as your target. Could be really good if you were just attacking and defending and holding onto your buffs and then drop this sucker out. It could be fun. Rock Melter, 5 damage, and reduces... We've already seen this one. I actually, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I like this card. 5 damage ignoring defense is really nice, but then the ability to remove one of their buffs, I think actually makes it a lot better. Mechanical Machine, deal 3 damage to your target when this buff leaves play, take 3 damage. 9 damage across 4 turns, not too bad. Umbrin's Salvager, 2 damage, increases by 2 for every item you have equipped. If you have a bunch of items, maybe, but... Creeble Monk, no hero can use abilities. That's pretty good if you're trying to counter your opponent, but again, I think it's a little too situational, unless abilities really become a thing. Here we go, Tyrax Fixer. Here you go, Rui. Alright, Gear Crank Catapult, already seen one of these. Chrono Warper, already seen one of these. Greedy Gemruff? I don't know if you've seen one of these or not. Mountain Card, discard 1 card. Your enemy discards 1 card. Oh yeah, we've already seen one of these. Tyrax Fixer, just saw one. It was foil. Umbrin Thief, definitely seen one of those. Starstorm, Astral Combo. Combo buff. Heal yourself and damage your target. That's not bad. If they're not gonna remove it right away. Yet again, another Mantix Volter. Oh, yeah. The Abyss Tentacle. Deal 2 damage to your target when you perform an ability. When this enters play, gain 1 additional action if you have another shadow buff in play. Already seen one of those. Reflector. When you're about to take damage from another hero, deal the same damage back to them up to a maximum of 8. That did not trigger other effects or be increased by effects. Yeah. Rock Melter. Oh cool, got a foil one. Here you go, Rui. So this is a booster box. You can get them on Amazon and stuff. I did a video earlier where I did Awakening and Kindred. I couldn't get Mythical easily on Amazon. I bought it on eBay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I had an eBay gift certificate, so I don't remember how much I actually spent. But yeah, I almost never go on eBay, and I was like, oh, bet you I can use this now. Gravity Well. Yeah, already seen one of these. Reckless Spirit. Remove 3 damage, remove buff. Seen one of those. Greedy Gemruff. Seen one of those. Shadow Puppet. Seen a lot of those. Snowcaster Elder. 2 healing, gain 1 additional action. Saw one of those. Regen Chamber. Don't think we've seen one of these yet. Gain healing at the start of your turn. Rotate this 1 step forward when you take 1 or more damage. I think I tried playing with one of these and it wasn't as good as I thought it was because you take way too much damage before this thing really has a good effect. Although, now I'm thinking about it, if you damage yourself, you could theoretically heal yourself for like 8. So that might mitigate damage. I'm not sure. Tech card, Crumbling Tower, Corner 1, rotate this 1 step forward when you take 1 or more damage. Corner 3, damage your target. Corner 4, take damage. Yeah, I guess you just have to burn this, or remove this one before it hit the 4th. Right after the 3rd and before the 4th. Seems a little situational though. Umbrin Brute. Damage from combos can't deal more than the corner damage to you unaffected by power changes. This could be really good because quite often you end up doing some sort of clincher where you get them down to the point where one of your combos can kill them, and then you just usually play a combo to actually kill them. What is the card that prevents you from dying once? Anyway, this Umbrin Brute and one of those cards could actually be really good played together. Here's a hero, the Grimguard Hemlock, whose ability is deal 1 damage to another hero, whatever. Good in a pinch if you don't have anything to do, but usually an action's better spent drawing. Yeah, and here's another foil Rubble Roach. I got two of these now. Ooh. He looks kind of like a paperweight. Alright. Corvid Conspiracy. Definitely seen one of those. Draga Scorcher. Definitely great card. Great mountain card, Legion Fern. If you're, I'm sure you already have one in your deck, but great mountain card. Bone Reaper. Rotate to deal damage to your card and heal yourself. Could be, again, pretty good towards the 3rd turn that you play that. 3 healing. Sorry, I've already seen one of those. Pathfinder. Definitely seen a lot of those. Devour Soul, definitely seen a lot of those. Empowering Sanctum. Increased damage done by buffs next to this card by 1. Treetop Tribunal. Buff cannot be removed by other heroes. First 3 corners rotate this buff 1 step backward when your target defends. So if your opponent has no defend cards, or not many, this could be good, but I don't know, it seems a little situational. But yeah, if you had cards that forced it to rotate forward, that could be pretty awesome. Alright, a Swooping Rockwing. I think you got a foil one of this earlier. And the Fountain of Time. Need a life straw if you're going to drink from this guy. I wouldn't trust how clean that is. Rui made the joke that it'd be a cool sideline to make paperweights out of some of these cards. Alright, Hurricane Hermit. I feel like we've seen this one already. Yeah, this seems really good, actually. Move another buff you have in play into your stock pile. Nope, never mind. That was the other way around. Corvid Conspiracy, definitely seen one of those. Chrono Warper, definitely seen those. Bone Reaper, oh my god, another one. Vitalizing Frog, Rui, another frog. Windseer. Look at another hero's hand and select one of their cards. The selected card is moved to their deck. Wow. That's pretty cool. I might have to try a Storm deck. I'm just seeing a bunch of really interesting cards that I'd be interested to try out. Chrono Shock Engine, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, definitely seen this one before. Lunar Alignment, immune to damage. This does not count as damage reduction. I need to look up that immune keyword, because this is confusing me. Creeble Monk, no hero can use abilities. Already seen one of those. And a Dawn Stalker, just the foil card. Here you go, Rui. It's a grumpy puppy dog. Or a pig. Can't tell if it's a dog or a pig. Looking at those back legs, it looks kind of like a pig. Yes, Rui, it's because the Vitalizing Frog is one of the most fun images in the game. Here we go. Another Hurricane Hermit. Another Mantic Spitter. Another Boulder Feast. Oh. Another Umbran Thief. Another Invigorate. Another Crumbling Tower. Oh, wait. Yes, we don't see one of those. Another Paralysis Bug. Wave Crusher. Buff for Storm. Instead of discarding, store water cards under this card, the attack ability. Rotate for damage. Increase this by the number of cards stored under this card to a maximum of 10. Yeah, you could... I don't know. You could have fun with it, but problem is the buffs are just too easy to remove. A hero. Ability, draw 1 card. This is really good. Wartoximus Warp. Yeah, that seems like an extremely good hero. Umbran Salvager. Oh, we do have a foil unaligned card. Ooh. I don't know if you can sort of see it. Alright. Yet another Flame Bat. Another Boulder Feast. Another Sneaky Creeble. Another Droplet. You've seen this one, right? Yeah. Reckless Spirit, 3 damage, remove 1 buff. Invigorate, 5 healing, move valid action buffs from your hand into play if you have until you have as many buffs. Yeah, we've seen this one. I like this one a lot. Umbran Salvager, seen one of those. Starhorn Tusker, 2 damage, increased damage by 2 while this card is on top of your discard pile. Obfuscation, this buff and the 2 buffs to its left cannot be removed or returned by other heroes. That's handy. Umbran Thief, this is the foil one. Oh, shoot. Legion Fern, are you... Sorry, when you say half the cards, what do you mean? I'm trying to pay attention to the video, but I think I might be missing some stuff. Is this good? Can you... I'll keep trying to make sure that I pay more attention to the video. But, so Astral Priest, seen one of those. Draga Scorcher. Fountain of Time. Reckless Spirit. Rock Melter. Lunar Offering. Defend ability. Get healing on your 4th turn? That seems kind of much. Stalwart Rockle. Immune to damage does not count as damage reduction. Ah, sorry, okay, yes, then I will try to make sure I'm good here. Mantix Weaver, 2 healing. Trigger all your defend abilities in play. Conditionally rotating buffs with the defend abilities still rotate, if applicable. Huh. 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 I'll have to think about that one. Moon. You don't draw a card after playing a combo. That... Huh. Well, starting with 35 health doesn't seem like it's worth it for that hit. And then Disturbed Elemental. Yeah. There we go. I'll make sure. Sorry. Thanks for letting me know, though. I don't know. It looks like a weird Disturbed Elemental. Yeah, I mean, so I gotta think more about the Mantix Weaver, because this seems... like, I'd have to see all the nature cards together to really understand where this would shine, but I feel like you could do a lot with that. But that would be a hell of a combo to pull off, I think. Alright, we are more than halfway, probably closer to 2/3 of the way done. There we go. Snowcaster Elder. Shrine of Death. Wild Spirit. Rotate all your animal buffs 1 step forward. Yeah, there's another one of those. Another Disturbed Elemental. Starstorm. Gorge Stalker. Attack ability, rotate for damage. You receive that much healing. That seems extremely good. That's 8 damage and 8 healing across 4 turns. That's pretty good. Magma Worm. Again, Legion Fern. Sure, you've seen this one, but very good card. Shade Whirler. You are no longer restricted to only using one ability per turn. Wait, what? That is exceptionally good, especially if you have some really tricky abilities. I mean, it's not nature, so you couldn't use it with that other one, but yeah, defend abilities could be done. Hey, look, it's another Bubbles, Rui. And Captain Jolty? Store played and expired combos under your hero, but no more than one at a time. Ignore any damage that would defeat you while you have a combo stored and discard it. That's really good. Again, if you're trying to do one of those Storm combo decks, seems like Storm's got a fair amount of cards that would work. Or that would have pretty good cohesion with the Mythical expansion, at least. Another... Gotta get the... There we go. Another Putrid Infestation. Another Corvid Conspiracy. Another Tyrax Fixer. Another Spark Wisp. Another Droplet. Starhorn Tusker. I don't know if you've seen this one yet. 2 damage, increased damage done by 2 while this card is on top of your discard pile. Seems pretty good. Emergency Generator. If your enemy has more health than you, they must move 5 attack cards from their hand to their deck. Multiplayer, this applies to all other heroes, but for 2 attack cards. Cursed Grave. When any of your cards are discarded by a card effect, store them under this card. When a 3rd card is stored, deal 7 damage to your target. Move the stored cards to your deck, then expire this buff. Again, it seems really good, but buffs are super easy to remove, so not sure how useful that would be in the end. Wildborn Maya. Reduce damage dealt by your combos by 1. Yeah, it's okay. And here's the foil card, a Wild Spirit. Here you go, Rui. Alright. It's not one of the frogs, but you know. Here we go. Another Boulder Feast. Another Umbran Thief. Another Dusk Feeder. Another Sneaky Creeble. No, Empowered Implant. Yeah, well, we've seen this one, but yeah, that seems really good. Storm Calling. Move all combo cards from your discard pile to your deck. Yeah, so here's another one of those combo drawers that seems really good. And then draw 2 cards. Resourceful Sipid. Crystalline Altar. Unique. Increase the cost of your enemy's combos by 1. That seems mean, but awesome. Royal Bumbler. Rotate this 1 step forward when you defend. Attack ability, damage, and restart this buff. Cool, so if you played a whole bunch of defends, you could just kind of mess them up over time. But again, buffs are pretty easy to remove. Pathfinder. I think this might be my 2nd foil Pathfinder from this box. Oh, there we go. To make things easier so you guys can see, I'll put the pile right here since there's not that many left. Alright, another Draga Scorcher, another Gravity Well. Hold on 1 second. Alright, hold on, my card scanner is slowing. Come on, Gravity Well. There we go. Heh. Okay, cool. Gravity Well. Look at the bottom 4 cards of your deck. You may draw a card from... Yeah, we see this one. Another Demolition Bot. Another Monster Ridge Defender. Another Crazed Bomber. Everrock Racer. Draw 1 card. If your enemy moves... Your enemy moves... Oh, the number of attack cards from their hand to their deck. Okay. Assassin's Guild. Gain 2 additional actions without any stat restrictions. This can't be as good as it looks. I'm not sure what the stat restrictions means, but... having 2 additional actions in a single turn seems really, really good. Ritual Sacrifice. First 3 corners, rotate this 1 step forward when you play a death card. Corner 4, damage your target. I could imagine a really gnarly series of cards you have to play, but you'd have to have a lot of cards in your hand to do this, especially because it costs 2 death just to play it. So you'd have to have 2 spare death cards if you wanted to do a lot of damage in, what, 1, maybe 2 turns? 3 turns, I guess, including the turn to play that. Moonlight Burrower. Defend, look at the top 4 cards of your deck and draw 1 of them, put the others back in the same order. If your last discarded card is not astral, gain 1 additional action. Yeah, again, one of those astral abilities that... Wait, did we already see this one? I think we already saw this one, now that I think about it. Here we go, another Sneaky Creeble, except foil again, because why not? I think this is the second Sneaky Creeble we got. Alright. Another Boulder Feast. Make sure I'm holding it in the right place. Oh, there you go. Really? Got your frog. Look at it, he's got a little snake. Snake wand. Another Spark Wisp. Another Rubble Roach. Another Necrophant. Another Devour Soul, I think. Another Resourceful Sipid. Another Emergency Generator. If your enemy has more health than you, they must move 3 attack cards from their hand to their deck. Oh yeah, this is... I've already seen this guy. Reality Rift. Sorry, hold on, trying to make sure it gets scanned. There we go. Move your last 3 discarded buffs into play. Gain 1 additional action. And it doesn't say attack buffs. It just says buffs. So if you had combo buffs out and then you played this, that would be so mean. And gain an additional action? Legion for no items yet. Weirdly enough. And then another Lunar Offering. This one's foil though, so. Yep. No items. I got a bunch of items from the Kindred expansion, I think. But yeah, I'm not quite sure if there are no, or at least not many items in Mythical. Another Gear Crank Catapult, another Creeble Nurse, another Electro Hopper. There you go. Does he have lipstick or is that his tongue? We'll never know. Yeah, really, that is a very expensive card, but honestly, the thing is with the Rift, so when you play a combo card, unfortunately, I don't know if my camera is going to be able to show it this well, but basically you have to discard cards with those symbols on them. They don't actually cost that mana. It costs cards, or mana. It doesn't cost that element. So you actually have to discard that many cards from your hand to your deck. So if you have basically a maximum of 4 cards, although potentially if you could discard other combo cards that had those symbols on the top to reduce that cost. So as little as 1, but likely 3 or 4 cards you'd be discarding to get that play. But really though, to get your last 3 discarded buffs, especially if you had some phenomenal buffs out there, that could really be, that could be basically just really, really nice. Yeah, so here we go. Loot Snatcher, another Ashwood Diva, Mantix Hatchlings. Damage your target at the start of your turn. Rotate this 1 step forward when you take 1 or more damage. Yeah, that's mean. That's a really good mean nature card that forces your opponent to have to attack you, or continue to take 2 damage until they can. Oh yay, another Mantix Bolter. So I've got my three Mantic filters now. Contra Bubble. Tech combo buff. Damage you deal to yourself instead heals you. Rotate this one step forward. Yeah, I think actually I've already seen that one. Swamp Peddler, 4 damage. Increase this by 1 for each combo card in your discard pile. Mantic Spitter. Got the foil Mantic Spitter now, though. Yeah, really. I'll try to play this game, the digital version of this game sometime, so I can show it off. Yeah, it's really actually not too complicated as far as trading like card games go. It's real neat. I'll try to ping you next time when I'm gonna be doing this though. Okay, so Wild Spirit. Yep, seen this guy. Crystal Leech. Seen this guy. I'm trying to find where the right focus point is, but it's hard because I can't see too well what you guys are seeing. Sneaky Creeble. Fountain of Time. Hurricane Hermit. Rock Melter. Electrified Moat, it's a storm card. Deal damage to your attacker when you get attacked. Again, kind of a mean storm card. That's pretty good. Nimbus Crash. Deal damage to your target and gain healing. That is a... Oh, it's a combo buff though. Okay, so not bad, but... Stasis Drone, your target's rightmost buff from their perspective is dormant. Oh, yeah, we've already seen this one. Bug Rider. Increase damage done to other heroes by 3 if your last discarded card is a combo. That's pretty good. Again, one of those storm combo cards. And it's foil. Alright. Alright. Bone Reaper. Snowcast Elder. Demolition Bot, Gear Crank Catapult, Invigorate, Storm Calling, move all combo cards from your discard pile to your deck. Yeah, so that's another one of those combo cards. Windseer, look at another hero's hand and select. Yeah, that's a main card. Flame Fist, Umbron, attack ability, do damage. Again, I didn't realize that there were cards that let you do multiple abilities per turn, but yeah, I mean, if you had one of those and you comboed it with this, it would be real mean. Sunstrider, 3 damage, increase it by 1 for every other card you play this turn. Again, not quite sure what the extra abilities are for Astral folks, but could be neat. Bone Reaper, but this time it's foil. It's... There we go. Foily. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 10 more. Alright, got another Loot Snatcher. Another Crystal Leech. Another Shrine of Death. Another Putrid Infestation. Another Devour Soul. Another Rock Melter. Yeah, I should include that in my Twitch description, but yeah, it's Brig Briz on the game as well. Fungal Leecher, Stalwart Rockle, already seen one of those. Frozen Totem, Astro card, it's a buff. When your enemy attacks, you move that many discarded action cards from your discard pile to your hand. Huh. Could be good. Make sure it gets scanned. Come on. Scan card. There we go. And then finally, an Empowered Implant. Combo buff. Corner 1, take that much damage. Corner 2, attack ability, do that much damage. But it's foily. Wait, what? Really? Wait, oh, cool. Yeah, I usually try to add people as friends when I play a good round, or at least a close round, because it's cool to stay in touch with people like that. Awesome. Who are you on Lightseekers? Tyrex Fixer, Crazed Bomber, Astral Priest, Chrono Warper, Moss Ridge Defender. Cool. We'll have to play a round or two or something. Soul of War. Oh wait, have we seen this? Draw cards when you take 1 or more damage. Yeah, we've seen one. That's a good card. The Maniacal Machine. Deal damage to your target when this buff leaves play. Take 3 damage. Treetop Tribunal. Yeah, I like that card. Tinkerbot. Tech card. Draw 1 card when this enters play. Defend ability. Return the rotated number of your other tech action buffs to your hand. Draw that many cards. That's really good. That is really, really good. That could be fun. And Electric Hopper, except this one's foily. Look. There you go, Rui. Cool, Legion. We'll have to. Yeah, we'll definitely have to play sometime. Alright, Flame Bat, Electro Hopper, oh my god, so many of these frogs. Reckless Spirit, Tyrax Fixer, Invigorate, Devour Soul, Stalking Sipid, Rotate for healing when your enemy draws a total of 2 or more cards in 1 turn. This can only trigger once per turn. Yeah, that's pretty good. Wait. Can you rotate cards when it's someone else's turn? You must be able to. I didn't realize you could. Magma Worm. Mimicking Magmites. And, oh, we haven't seen this one yet. Copy the effect and the current rotate value applicable of an action buff to the left of this one. Rotations and restarts aren't copied. Been informant. I am keeping my fingers crossed that you can't scan someone else's cards after they've scanned them. Or rather, at least claim them. If I don't actually know what happens when someone else scans these. I mean, because I know there's the, yeah, foily informant. Oh, actually, that's really good. You're right. I didn't. All right, Astral Priest, Demolition Bot, Rebel Roach, Umbran Thief, Celestian Warrior, Mantix Hatchlings, Skyward Observatory. Increased damage and healing done by blah. That's pretty good. Immune to damage. This does not count as damage reduction. Again, need to look up immune. Rebel Scavenger. Burn. Can only be played if you have a combo buff in play. Discard the top 2 cards from another hero's deck. Move 1 discarded action card to your hand. That seems mean, except for the fact that it's very unlikely you're going to end up with the right ability, like even the right order or elements to be able to do that. So it would have to be an unaligned card, I suppose. And here we go, Dusk Feeder. Yeah, so the edges of the card are a unique identifier for each card. However, you can, like, there's the, what are the tribute cards that can be scanned multiple times that actually give you good perks. I don't know what happens if you scan a non-tribute, though. Either way, I'm claiming all of these as I'm reading them, so preventing someone from sitting here in front of YouTube scanning all my cards. Yeah, Necrophant, see one of those. Moss Ridge Defender, see one of those. Loot Snatcher, already seen one of those. Wild Spirit, already seen one of those. Shrine of Death. Yeah, I'm thinking might want to just start skipping all the commons already because I'm sure we've seen them all. Lunar Offering, defendability, gain that much healing. Soul of War. Yep, already seen one of those. Nimbus Crash. Damage your target and heal yourself. Again, seems really good. Although the mana, there's again. Element cost is a little high. Moonlight Burrower. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck and draw one of them. Put the others back in the same order. If your last discarded card is not astral, gain 1 additional action. Yeah, that seems, again, extremely good. It's defend, so. And a Sand Stalker. 3 damage. If your last discarded card is lunar, gain 1 additional action. And it's foily. There we go. Yeah, so the, I don't quite know exactly how to read these cards, but I'm imagining it's just some sort of, binary marker. Yeah, I'd have to look it up, but I'm sure I could probably figure it out roughly how these things are done. But yes, it's just a unique marker on the sides of all the cards. Just gotta make printing these things a huge pain in the ass now that I think about it. Because you need a custom printer. You couldn't just send them to any print shop, because you need a custom printer to do this. Unless they print it in 2 stages, which is totally doable. Now that I'm sort of thinking about it more like an engineer. Yeah, maybe you can print them all in one go, and then print unique markings and scan the exact cards on a second processing step. I guess that's how I would probably do it, instead of trying to print it all at once. Gravity Well, seen one of these. Putrid Infestation, seen one of those. Bone Reaper, seen one of those. Celestial Warrior, Flame Bat, Starstorm, Dust Fiend. 4 damages can count as any element when you used for a combo, but you must have access to air. Ritual of Sacrifice. First 3 corners. Oh yeah, we've already seen one of these. Reflector. When you're about to take damage from another hero, deal the same damage back to them up to a maximum of 8. This cannot trigger other effects or be increased by buff. Yeah, whatever. Oh! Draga Scorcher. Foily. Legion Friend, I'm not sure what you mean. What's Shadow Era? Is that a different game? And another one of these god-awful Thunder Slugs. Crazed Bomber. Shadow Puppet. I don't think I've played Shadow Era. Or rather, obviously haven't played it. I don't think I've heard of it. Corvid Conspiracy. Snowcaster Elder. Rock Melter. Electrified Moat. Dawnstalker. Already seen one of those. Got another Impressed Cloud. Rui. Not foil, but cloud. Yeah. 2 healing. If your last discarded card is a combo, move 2 different valid action buffs from your hand into play. Again, seems really mean to do after that was done. Spirit Walk. Move all your animal action. Oh, this is the foil one. Move all of your animal action cards from your discard pile to your deck. Draw 2 cards, gain 2 additional actions. When did Shadow Era come out? I can't. Now that I'm thinking about it, it does sound more familiar. Putrid Infestation, Fountain of Time, Moss Ridge Defender, Dusk Feeder, Invigorate, Infected Wasp, Vile Breath Creeble, I don't know if I've seen this one yet. Damage your target, discard the top card from your target's deck. Yeah, that seems mean. Flame Burrower. Mountain card. Burn 2 damage. If you played other fire action cards this turn, move them to your hand. Interesting. The Ancient. Alright, here we go. Here's my first mythical card I've opened so far. Instead of discarding, store water cards under your hero. Ability: if 4 or more cards are stored, move 4 of them to the discard pile, and remove 1 buff from any hero. That seems really good, but I'd have to think about it. Monster's Defender, again. Foily. I'll have to look into it. Was it any good, or is it any good, or is it still around, or... Here you go. You go, Rui. Your somewhat endearing dread card. Alright. What? There we go. Greedy Gemruff. Discard 1 card. Oh yeah, see this one. Electro Hopper. Another one of your little frogs, Rui. Droplet. Yeah, seen one of those. Spark Wisp, seen one of those. Rubble Roach, seen one of those. Dust Fiend, seen one of those. Everrock Racer, seen one of those. Inertia Sentinel. Yep, seen one of those. Celestin. When your enemy plays a combo, they take 2 damage. Pretty good. Turbine Waste. When you play a combo, heal equal to its cost. Legion Fern, did Shadow Era ever hit mobile? Or was it only physical? Alright, last booster, folks. Gravity Well. Another Crystal Leech. Another Flame Bat. Ooh, Vitalizing Frog. There you go, Rui. Another Thunder Slug. Devour Soul. Another Maniacal Machine. Another Empowering Sanctum. Embiggen Otron. Attack card. If you deal damage to yourself, increase the next damage done to other heroes this turn by 2. Neat. And the final one is another Empowering Sanctum, except this one's foil. Awesome. Alright, so that's it for tonight. It is a remarkably painful experience standing up for an hour and a half and talking. But yes, this is Lightseekers. Lightseekers. Yeah, that was a lot of cards. I need water. Cool. Alright, well, the camera is pointed down at the desk because my room is a huge mess. So, and I didn't put up the green screen to block it. So yes, we did get one mythical card. The Ancient. Mountain card with the ability to use water. So that's kind of neat. I feel like you could do some really mean stuff with this. Oh, wait, hold on. Before you go, I do have a little bit of bonus. So, I've been trying to build a few key decks, and there's a couple of cards I don't have the physical copies of. So I wanted to get them. So this is the first time ever I've actually bought singles from a website before, because I like this game that much that I think it's worth it. So here is a tech card. Yeah, mainly I was trying to build a good tech deck, and the more I'm thinking about it, I may not be able to do it, but here's one that I didn't have. So Time Flicker is a combo defend where you draw 4 cards and gain 1 additional action. That is a solid tech card for 2 cost. The mountain card, Colossi Ritual Site. Increase damage done to other heroes and reduce damage received by this much. Rui, I'm live. You're hurting my stomach. There's a Colossi Ritual Site. It helps you set up really good combos on the next turn. Thanks, Rui. Here is a hero that seems kind of broken, but it was Zuna. This is no, Rui, my brain went there too. That was yeah, so here's Azuna. This is the ability to draw 2 cards. So basically, this card makes it so you don't really need, or rather, if you need to draw cards, you don't need to end your turn to do that. You can just do it right off the bat. The only downside is your enemy draws a card, but honestly, if you're using this hero, you're probably trying to cycle for specific cards or set up a combo pretty early. Additionally, it lets you do both what is that, explosives and time for unlimited amounts. So yeah, this is an incredible hero. And then finally, the Tantosian Blacksmith. Move 1 item from your hand or deck into play, gain 1 additional action. Yeah, so if you're running an item deck, this is a great, yeah, this is a great card. Because basically, you not only get to look through your deck for, or your hand, I guess, if you had it in your hand already, but basically you get to play it for free and then gain an additional action. Like, this is an incredibly good card. They're difficult to find online even, so. Anyway, yes, just wanted to, I don't know, show off my singles that I bought, because I don't know if anyone else, but maybe a few folks online would care that much, but cool. All right, it's awesome if you guys want to follow me and or get notifications for the next time I do this. I'll probably be doing the online version. From what I understand, it's supposed to, like, this game is supposed to hit Steam, but for now, I don't have any problem streaming mobile. I got a neat setup on my computer that I can just do, yeah, streaming from either my iPad or my iPhone to my computer and then stream it through Twitch pretty easy. So, yeah, oh yeah, I know, Rue, you followed me, but you actually lied. You had already followed me 5 months ago, apparently, because I can see all 8 people who have followed me. Alright, anyway, this was a really good stream. I had a good time. Yeah, hopefully I'll catch you guys again. And, yeah, thanks for stopping by.